Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of the Extra Point. We got PL Coach in the house. We got Tasha T Sizzle in the house. How goes it this morning, T Sizzle?
It goes great.
It goes great. Certainly great to have you back on the set. Certainly great to be back. Tasha, we take one little week off and all hell breaks loose in sports
Literally,
and entertainment.
literally breaks loose.
All right, now we will get into all of these individual beasts that's been popping up all around the sports and pop culture lexicon here individually in just a moment. But I want to start with the NBA playoffs. Tasha, we've seen a number of really outstanding individual performances so far in the playoffs in the first round in a few games, but two players really have stood out to me. That's Jalen Brunson and Anthony Edwards. If I'm not mistaken, the last time we were on here and you gave your top five, those players were in your top five heading into the playoffs, and they certainly have not disappointed. In fact, if no one agreed with you then, I think the whole world agrees with you now. So good job by you on that. But Tasha, the question is, who have you been most impressed with so far, Ant-Man or Brunson?
Actually, Brunson, because I think when Brunson wasn't he the one he played at Dallas, right?
Yes, he played for the Mavericks, correct.
And I think once he got shipped to New York, I think they didn't think he had anything left in him. So the way that he's out here playing and producing and really making a name for himself is what's really getting me like amped to watch. With the Ant-Man, we always kind of knew it was there. And the fact that people are now comparing him to the GOAT, which is Michael Jordan, I don't like those comparisons, to be honest, because I think whenever you start comparing, oh, this is the next Jordan, this is the next such and such, this is the next this and the other thing. Sasha, we're not going to get into that. Your Uncle Paul knows the reason why.
And we are certainly not getting into that. Oh, continue, Tasha, as we digress.
And I remember, and then, in our chat when you were talking, and I said, I have something that I just kind of want to say, but I want to get your reaction to it.
Hey, bring it on.
Anthony Edwards, what he's doing is beyond phenomenal. And they're talking about, oh, he could possibly be the face of the league. Did they just forget about Ja? Or did what Ja did, what he did, is that making people shy away? Now, he is injured, so he hasn't been able to perform this season. But, I mean, Ant-Man has off-the-field issues, too. If y'all don't know, Google some of the baby mama drama he's mixed up in. But at the end of the day, that has nothing to do with violence. So what are your thoughts on that?
Hey, I like the way you tossed it back this morning to me. It's funny that you say that because I remember 2 years ago, Ant-Man and Ja faced off in the playoffs, and Ja got the better of him in that series. I think that Ja is becoming a victim of out of sight, out of mind. You miss the first 25 games of the year, and then you turn around and you get injured shortly after that, and you pretty much miss the whole season. The Grizzlies went in the tank after that. They weren't on national TV a lot. He's not in the playoffs. And, in the NBA, that's where you kind of make your legend, is in the playoffs. So right now, I believe that Ja has nobody to blame but himself for being in this position. But I do think that with a retooled, reloaded season next year, he can get that claim back, because I'm not actually sold that Ant-Man is going to be able to finish off Denver, and we'll get into that matchup specifically a little bit later. But I saw the comparisons to MJ. Y'all, let's slow down. Can we?
I mean, but you got a lot of these big talking heads even going along with it. I just wish they would stop the comparisons to Jordan. I wish they would stop the comparisons to Kobe, because there's not going to be any other players that are like those two, in my opinion. Even with LeBron, you can't compare a player to LeBron James, because no player coming out is going to be able to do the things that LeBron James has done. I mean, the man even said KD was his favorite player, and that's who he patterned his game after.
Right.
Where's the Jordan thing coming from?
And my thing is, how do you skip to the penthouse? Like, there's players like Carmelo Anthony, Allen Iverson, Dwayne Wade. Like, can you pass those first, and then we work our way up to Jordan? We're talking about the greatest player to ever to lace up shoes on the court. We're talking about the king, Mr. 40,000 points. Like, we're talking about Kobe, a man with 5 championships and invented the Mamba mentality. Like, come on, y'all. Let's slow down with the Ant-Man. Ant-Man, can you get to a NBA Western Conference Finals first? Can you win a championship first before we start calling you Jordan? Now, I know if you physically looking at him, you see the same skin complexion, you see the muscles. You know how Jordan got chiseled as he prepared to take on the Pistons in the late 80s and early 90s. I get from a aesthetic standpoint, he may favor Jordan, but let's stop that. And y'all know I give Jordan a lot of hell on this show, but there will be no comparison from a guy who's never won anything to one Michael Jeffrey Jordan, as Tasha likes to call him. Martrice checking in. Denise checking in. Melanie Taylor, good morning, all three ladies. She says, GOAT conversations are exhausting. It diminishes so many other greats. Just my opinion. No, it ain't just your opinion. You coming in hot this morning, Martrice. Good morning. Yeah, and it does. Now, yes, I love to troll Tasha with my king and my crown thing of that nature. But y'all, even we have reached an out-of-court settlement on that debate. We're going to call Jordan the GOAT and LeBron the king and keep it pushing in 2024 and beyond. That, like, we reached a happy medium there, and I'm good with that. But to your original point, I agree with you on Jalen Brunson. Brunson is averaging 35 points a game in the playoffs. And it's not just that he's averaging that. He's doing it in the most critical. Like, they need every point of Jalen Brunson. They barely squeaked by the 76ers. I think they outscored them by 1 point. The whole
and then
series.
You got all the injured players for the Knicks, but they lost last night, but
barely. They was on their neck then. Like, so, and by the way, for those who wasn't keeping record at home, Tasha also had Tyrese Halliburton in her top 5 heading into the playoffs, and he's only dropped 35 2 games in a row on the Knicks, one of the best defensive teams in the league. Tasha, you cooked on that top 5.
I do need the Pacers coach to quit out here bargaining and screaming and hooping and hollering for fouls.
Right.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. And the thing is, you had double-digit leads in both those games. The referees didn't walk you down. The Knicks walked you down. Jalen Brunson is leading the NBA in fourth quarter scoring in the playoffs. The man is money. He makes the biggest shots in the biggest moments. I am a big fan of Jalen Brunson. Do you think the Mavs are regretting letting him walk, or do you think Kyrie has been a suitable replacement?
Oh, no. Let's just get this straight. And this is another caveat that I just kind of want to throw out. What's his name came out and said, "Oh, it's at least 30 NBA players that can play in the NFL."
Oh, right yeah. He did say that.
Kyrie is one of those players that I definitely think could play in the NFL right now. Let's just get that out there. So you're not going to take it. I think had Kyrie not went off the rails,
right,
we would be talking about Kyrie possibly as the face of the league at this point in his career.
Right.
Because of everything as he's accomplished. So you can't compare the two, because I'm going to always go with Kyrie on that one.
Right.
No matter what Brunson does.
Kyrie has been a revelation. And just being here in Dallas, he hadn't been on the local news. He hadn't had any off-court issues whatsoever. He's been quiet. He's been not seen unless he's on the court.
And they showed like a little clip on the NBA thing. It was his little son and his lovely wife. And, he's out there having court time with his son. You don't hear anything from Kyrie. And I think everybody has the right to express their opinion. And we really and truly do not know what Kyrie was going on with Kyrie or what he was thinking. But this is the Kyrie that had he maybe stayed in Cleveland. LeBron may have still been in Cleveland. Maybe his name wouldn't be synonymous with the earth is flat. Right. Or not wanting to get the jab, and things like that.
Right. And hopefully, to your point, history, as we get further and further away from that, it was like, really, we're talking about a 2-year stretch in an otherwise illustrious career. Let's not forget, LeBron gets credit for the coming back from 3-1 against the Warriors, but he does not get that ring without Kyrie in game 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's just get that out the way.
Because you see what happened once Kyrie left.
Right. Right, right. Cleveland and LeBron has kind of been shaky ever since then. Now, let's talk MVP because I want to. We're gonna attack these beefs one at a time because this has been really juicy. And I hadn't had a chance to talk to you about this one. I wanted to save it for wax. So Nikola Jokic wins his third MVP in 4 years. Congratulations to the Joker. He won that on Wednesday. On Thursday, Shaquille O'Neal has him on the TNT NBA show, and he gives him his flowers while also telling him that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander should have won the MVP, which set off a firestorm with him wind up beefing with Club Shay. We'll get to that in just a second. But was this fair or foul for him to do that to Jokic on live TV during this moment?
It's foul. It was rude. It was totally unnecessary, and it was very, very disrespectful for him to do that. This man just won this award, and then you want to call him out. People were saying when he made that statement, he had a picture of Shawnee, a vision of Shawnee, and it's
been a rough week for Shaq, ain't it?
She done told that man she wasn't in love with that man the whole time they was together.
Dang, Shawnee. Like on a side note, Shawnee, like for real, like, but y'all didn't have just one baby. Like you doubled back. Didn't you triple back? I'm gonna digress because we can get lost in that aspect of it. I agree. I'm like Shaq.
Let me pull up the message. Hold on.
While you pull that up, I'm gonna agree with you because I'm like Shaq. When you told him, "Congratulations, you're the best player in the league," leave it there. If you want to come back later and put that on your podcast, that's one thing. But why are you disrespecting the man on live TV?
It was disrespectful. So this is what I said to Sasha. I said she was in love with what he could give her. I said a lot of these athletes' wives and girlfriends are like this. I said, hell, look at the blanking Rick Ross. I said these ugly, unattractive athletes get these cookie cutter, instant thought blanks because of the lifestyle.
Yeah. And without Shaquille O'Neal, you don't get that basketball wives franchise.
Right. She doesn't get that without Shaq. Now, not saying that Shaq was ugly. Shaq was very handsome and very attractive when he first came out of LSU. Shaq was a very nice looking man. So it's not like he would have had any issues getting a woman. But that's just usually how it goes with a lot of these athletes. When you see a lot of these athletes, you look at them and you like, if it wasn't for the money, you know, he wouldn't have a woman that looks like this. You know, the typical BBL looking wives, because they never get regular looking women. They get, you know, what's attractive to them. So, I mean, I'm inclined to believe that Shawnee really was not in love with him. And then all the things that he admitted to them, the things that he did during their marriage, that can make you not love someone.
But dang, Shawnee, though, for real, like I get that Shaq was bleeding out on the Joker because he was taking some on the chin publicly. But Shawnee, I like, come on, Shawnee, like this ain't basketball wives. I mean, I know you got a book to sell and you have to have something controversial as your selling point. But that, I mean, it's been so many years later. That's just low, Shawnee. You get to shut the hell up for that one, as does Shaq. But the thing is, it didn't stop there. Now, our favorite Uncle Shay, he went on his show with Ocho Cinco called Nightcap, and he basically said that Shaq was being jealous and that if Shaq had Shannon's work ethic, he'd have 40,000 points. Shaq fired back with a diss record, called the man everything but a child of God. Tasha, what's going on with these old heads beefing? This sounds like this is a tragedy.
First of all, I don't necessarily think that Shaq was jealous, so I would not agree with Unc on that one. But I do think he harbors some sort of resentment. Because like how they were saying he should have won it over Steve Nash that year. Okay.
Which is true.
Yeah, even though Steve Nash balled out, you know,
right.
One can argue that Shaq was the better player that season.
Right.
But also what Unc said was true. You look at Unc's body now and look at Shaq's body. Yeah, Unc got the bad hips. You know, he limping. But like he said, he's had 2 hip replacement surgeries. He's had a broken collarbone. He's had a broken shoulder. That man took a lot of pounding on his body. Had Shaq taken better care of his body when in those crucial times when because we would see Shaq, you know, breathing heavy. Maybe if he did take better care of his body, maybe he would have, you know, been in a better position to garner more votes, more likes, because he's a lovable guy. The media loves him.
Now, that's true. And Martrice is hitting us with bars this morning. She says, well, he admitted that he was not only a terrible person back then, but a terrible husband. Loss of respect will remove love in a New York minute.
What I said.
That is very, very true. And the thing is, he knew that. That's why he took the high road on that. There was no need to fire back shots, because if anybody got receipts to destroy somebody, it's your ex-wife.
And you think about it. Kobe put them receipts out too, even though that's the moment when I stopped liking Kobe, is when Kobe told Shaq's business.
Right, but one part of Shaq's business that he told that was absolutely true and in bounds and in play was the fact that, to Shannon's point, Kobe was frustrated with Shaq coming in out of shape every year.
Because
this isn't a new narrative.
Because I can't remember what show I was watching, because now y'all know I really was not a fan of YouTube, but now I'm like all my podcasts on YouTube, and I found out they're more enjoyable to watch than to listen to.
Yeah, YouTube goes hard.
So I was watching something, and they were saying with basketball, you have to kind of already be in shape coming in. Yeah. You can't play your way into shape, even though we all agree the season typically doesn't really get interesting to start until after Christmas or Christmas Day, when it really kind of kicks off. But you kind of have to be in shape before you get there. You can't play your way into shape.
Now, Martrice, don't you get her started and pull her chain this morning. She said that sounds very Zion Williamson-ish. The thing is, and look at his injury history.
Great brother himself.
Eating that good old Creole food down there in New Orleans, not getting
the etouffee, Don.
Now, I did notice one thing though, as far as with Shaq and Shay. Normally, Shay will come back with "I'll beat your ass." That's what he did with Mike Epps and some others, saying, "Hey, keep my name out your mouth when I see you in the streets." Is on. He didn't do that with Shaq.
But did you watch the show Thursday when he said we can do it on air or we can do it in person? He said, "You got my number." I think once Unc said that time about rolling up on Mike Epps, I think that kind of took him in a different place. Now that he is at ESPN, he can't be out here threatening folks.
You can't. And the thing is, you can't box down either. That's boxing down, picking on Mike Epps. Like Mike Epps is great and a phenomenal talent in his own right. But Shannon Sharp, once you are sent to a certain place, punching down just makes you look worse. Punch up. And you're right. He's about to sign another lucrative deal with ESPN. So you gotta kill foolishness. Good morning, Michael Harris.
Just like
you gotta kill
that foolishness. That happened with him and Skip Bayless, and everybody was like, "Oh, if it was me, I would have did this." So if that man would attack, like we discussed, if he would attack 78-year-old Skip Bayless on national TV, he would be ruined.
Right. And sometimes, you got to eat a little crow to grow. Now, in that moment in his flesh, he took the L because everybody was on him about that. The Up in Smoke podcast and all of the quote unquote real Compton City G's was like, "Oh, you should have checked that, old man, and you should have did this, you should have did that." While all the while, that was actually the catapult for him going on to have the most watched YouTube video of all time.
It is at 68 million. For you guys that do not know, it is at 68 million.
Now, he always comes in with a bar. Good morning, JG. He says jealousy was a crazy statement about Shaq. He's got 3 Finals MVPs.
That's what I said. Jealousy, saying he was jealous was a stretch. Like I said, I do think he harbors some resentment, though, about not being, but I don't think it's jealousy.
No, and the thing is, I think sometimes we hide behind the word jealousy or hating on someone. Now, sometimes you just ain't rocking with what somebody's doing. It's not a jealousy thing. And Shaq, if you watch the whole interview, he did say, "Joker, you are the best player in the league." But we all know that best player and MVP, those goalposts move every year because Michael Jordan should have had 13 straight. Let's keep it real. Michael Jordan should have had 13. Charles Barkley should have never won MVP. There was never a year where Charles Barkley was more valuable to the NBA than Michael Jordan or anybody, or Karl Malone or whoever else won in the 90s. Martrice says he know Mike Epps wrote that You know what? Let me.
Martrice,
Martrice is in her bag this morning. She has to make drinks coffee.
CeeLo, your sister says, "What's up?" If y'all don't know who CeeLo is, hold on.
Well, hold on, CeeLo. But yeah, well, Lord, now you got a cat in the house. You got a cat in the hat, Dr. Seuss.
Y'all, this is Castor Troy. He is named after my second favorite movie villain of all time in Face Off, Castor Troy. Darth Vader is my favorite movie villain ever.
I would have preferred Azrael. Why didn't you name the cat Azrael?
No. Oh, he wants to. Oh, okay. Okay, Cass.
Uncle Langston checking in saying Steve Nash winning over Kobe. See, that's the thing that I want to get this down to. Y'all, help me out in the comments. Help me out, Tasha. Is the MVP the best player on the best team that year? Is MVP the best overall player in the league? Is MVP the person who did the most with the least? What is the MVP nowadays?
Like you said, the goalpost continues to move. Because if you're going to just say the best player, like you said, Jordan would have had 47 MVPs in a row.
Right. However many years he played, he would have been MVP, except for maybe his first 2 seasons.
Remember when Jokic won that second one, it was always between him and Embiid, which, I mean, Jokic had the better season that year to me.
Right, she's the peg detective. Keep going, Tasha. Yeah, right. Because statistically, he did. He did have a better season than Embiid last year.
And
statistically.
So, but I think Embiid got it last year because he didn't win it the year before. Let's just be honest.
And he was out there whining and crying and complaining.
Right.
Let's keep that real too.
When Jokic took that realm of being like, who was that? They was like, oh, you can say this about Jokic, but they didn't even know he had 29 points, 17 rebounds, and and like 9 assists for that one game, but he was quiet and they still won. Right.
Now, for Tasha Doolittle, that's what it is. Tasha, you always.
But ever since Jokic won that first MVP, his play has never dropped.
Never. And the thing is, you can't speed him up. You can't rush him. You can't double him. You can't play him in the post man. He has all of the tools in his toolbox. He is literally a new generation big. I was thinking about this earlier before the show. If you put Shaq in today's NBA, yes, Shaq would be dominant, but Joker would bring him out beyond that three-point line. What you gonna do with that, Shaq? Other than sit on the bench for foul trouble. And come on, man. If you take Rick Smits away from the 2000 Indiana Pacers and put Joker on that team, does Kobe and them win that title?
No. The Duncan Dutchman had no feet.
No, literally, his feet were bad. You put Joker on that Indiana team that went to the finals that first year that Shaq and Kobe won. It's not even. Let's stop it. You put Shaq in the pick and roll with the Joker above the top of the key. He can hit 30-foot threes. Like, let's not do this. I get it. I get it. We are gatekeepers for the 90s, but today's athlete is just different. Deal with it, Shaq. We love you, Shaq, but deal with it.
Because to be honest, Shaq would have been dominant in any era.
Yes,
go back to playing in the canvas Chuck Taylors. He still would have been dominant. But the game has changed now, and it is because of the influx of Europeans. They are coming out. They're taking that traditional center position away from the game because everybody in Europe is jacking that thing up. They want to say it's the Steph effect. No, they've been doing this in Europe.
Right. They was doing that in Europe long before the Dream Team even came around. It's just now it's getting to the point to where NBA general managers are starting to notice that and bring them over here, and the game has translated. I love the fact that now Langston with the y'all going too far, leave Mamba out of it. Y'all, Afro Kobe wasn't beating no Jokic if Jokic was on the Indiana Pacers. Okay.
No,
he missed one of those games. I think it was game 4 where Kobe went off. I'm sorry. Not with the Davis brothers and Jalen Rose and all those guys that they had on that team.
Those Davis brothers could be honorary members of the Whoop That Trick All-Star League.
Yes.
If you really want to
give Jokic a couple of enforcers. Give him a shooter in Reggie Miller. Give him a wing defender who can guard all 5 positions like Jalen Rose. The bench that they had, the toughness that they had, man, stop playing. And Larry Bird was a hell of a coach. Let's keep that real too. Look,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Langston, but I'm sorry. Like, I'm a gatekeeper when it comes to old school hip hop, but when it comes to sports, nah. This new generation got that. Now, we could have stayed in that all day, Tosh. She came ready after a week off. I'm loving it. Now, Tosh, I want to ask you about this. We saw another, I would say beef episode, but this time it was between a player and a damn fan. Patrick Beverly of the Milwaukee Bucks tossed a ball into the stands and hit a fan.
Speaking of ugly athletes with money who get women that.
Wait a minute. Before we get into that, he says LeBron flops out of the playoffs. Now y'all on the new school side. Hold on. Do I need to walk 2 feet over and grab my damn crown? There will never, ever, 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 ever be another King James. King James could have played back with Wilt in them. He could play in 2029. Come on now. Now, LeBron is different. And yes, he was better than Kobe. Stop it. On to Patrick Beverly. Tasha, you disagree?
The emoji that they took away from me on Instagram.
If y'all haven't never gotten a message on social media from Tasha, her damn Abby looks just like her. That's just shit is just hilarious. I'm sorry. I didn't even mean to cuss this early in the morning, but that mug is hilarious. You did that and it looked just like the. Okay, back to Patrick Beverly. So he's sitting on the bench while Milwaukee is getting eliminated by the Pacers last week. He's getting heckled by a fan. I believe they said 1, 2, 3 Cancun. He throws the ball into the stands. Man catches it, throws it back. Then he hurls it like a damn dodgeball and hits a fan upside the head. Tasha, the league came down this week, suspended the man 4 games, I guess, to start the season next year. But now the Indianapolis police are starting an investigation and getting involved. Tasha, is the police getting involved overkill, or was this a criminal act on Patrick Beverly's behalf?
I'm not going to necessarily go as far as criminal, but now you can't breathe on nobody because everybody want to press charges. I think it could be
touch me and I'll sue.
Right. I know you guys, this is so non-sports related. A woman was out at a restaurant and it was a young lady, 19-year-old, out with her friends, and she had on a short skirt. The woman had the audacity to confront the girl and tell her that her skirt was too short and that children could see it, and she took it upon herself to pull that girl's skirt down. Why are you touching that girl? But anyway, I digress.
But see, now when she throw you through the salad stand,
right, you're gonna be ready. But they was at Shoney's.
Right, when she hit you upside the head with that egg skillet that they be having with that hot water down there in the Shoney's breakfast bar, then you're gonna be crying too. So you think this wasn't a criminal act? It was very dangerous, though.
It's not necessarily a criminal act. It was dangerous because had her face been turned towards, that could have caused a broken nose. He could have bloodied her nose. So I would see her, if I was her, I'm gonna sue. I would sue him. But as far as it being, now see, had I said that, you would have been like,
I would hit that red end stream button. But see, the fact that you could just read it and not say it, Martrice is in a bag this morning.
So, but I mean, I know it had shades of the Malice in the Palace.
Yes, I thought about that. You're right.
Guys, it's on Netflix, but guys, I'm someone who actually viewed it as it happened.
Live on ESPN.
Because the game was kind of late and I had fallen asleep. When I woke up and rolled over, that's when Ron Test went and laid on the scores table.
Oh, so you caught it right in time.
I woke up and rolled over and wiped that slob off the side of my mouth just in time. And it was like when it happened, I just sat up and I'm sitting on the side of the bed like, oh my God, because they didn't cut away. They showed everything. But it's on Netflix, guys. It's called Malice at the Palace. It's really, really good. But
and it's called Untold. It's an Untold series. If you're looking for it, it'll be under that. Yeah. So, guys, anytime you have an interaction like that, and had it been, say, a different type of person, let's say, had that been me that he hit upside the head, it would have been Malice in, where were they at? Malice in Minnesota, Malice in Milwaukee
part two, part yeah. Because I would have had to get after Pat Bev if that would have been me.
If you haven't seen the video, y'all, this was like dodgeball, how he threw that ball back. He threw it at first, and the fan caught it, and the fan is smiling as he softly lobs it back to Beverly. Beverly catches it and just fires it like sidearm dodgeball. A basketball, Tasha? That ain't no damn.
He told that lady, you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Right, okay. Like, Patrick Beverly, they about to press charges on your ass. John Morant is in court right now because somebody hit him in the face with a ball. Like, that's fighting words. Like, Tasha.
So yeah, you have to tread lightly when you are doing things like that, having these sort of interactions with these fans, because just
that was totally unnecessary.
Right, and I'm not a fan of Patrick Beverly. I'm just gonna put that out there. I've never liked Patrick Beverly. But again, you don't know what these fans.
And he alluded to that. He said he won't repeat it, but he alluded to that. But also, I have to couch that by saying that's an easy cop-out as well, because we can't prove it. We don't have it on camera. I can always say, you don't know what they said to me, to trigger my people into giving me some grace. No, you're a professional athlete. They on the court. They've been talking crazy. If you was winning and not getting eliminated, I guarantee you wouldn't have thrown that ball into the stands, because you knew it was over after that.
Right, and Patrick Beverly is one of those trying to be about it type people. Why is what those particular fans said to you? Why is it triggering you? Like, I know we get up and we say, oh, they call me the N-word, or they said this or they said that. Like, now Vernon Maxwell had every right to go up in the stands after what that fan said to him. Because I would have did the same thing. But if you're supposed to be about that life, what these people out here that these people y'all claim are beneath you, lesser than you got more money than, why are you worried about what they saying?
Why are you worried about what they say? Like seriously, it would have to be a Ron Artest situation where you hit me with an object for me to retaliate. And just do like Kyrie and Kevin Durant did. Ref, I need y'all to go in there and throw them out.
Him right there.
Use your power. What are you doing? Like, you put the power back in their hands because you're about to get sued. You made $2 million this year for the Milwaukee Bucks. All that's gone. I'm going to need all of that. And then when you take out the lawyer's fees, I'm going to need some of that next year too.
That Dave Chappelle meme. Him holding.
Right. Tasha, if that's us in the stands, I'm rolling you into court with a leg cast, with a neck brace, with an eye patch. We going to get that money.
Just like this.
Right, because you being stupid. That was just stupid. Now, Tasha, is this a fireable offense? Should the Milwaukee, is he gonna serve this suspension in Milwaukee next year?
I mean, he's becoming one of those players that's being bounced around. I don't know if
he said he was ran through.
Now, see, had I said that, it would have been an issue.
I can see a little softer when I say it.
You can get on here and say this. Baby Cakes Treese can get on here and say stuff. But as soon as I say something to sideways, I'm ready to hit leave studio.
That's true. Now, that's true. You're not lying. That's true. Now, she said, hold your mule. But so wait a minute. So if you Doc Rivers, are you want him off your roster?
I mean, but nowadays it's almost like these teams want that type of player, because why on earth is Draymond still in the league?
Right. And we're going to talk about him.
I ain't heard Donyon Barry's name in a long time.
Langston, why did you smack Donyon Barry? You was like,
because Langston, you were an imposing force.
Right.
I mean, Donyon was jacked too, but Langston, you was jacked. I need to know what happened with that.
Langston was getting 2,000 yards a season in 11 games behind a porous offensive line. Why are you out here smacking people? You could have killed that boy.
Oh, wow, perfectly dressed. Because Langston, if I'm not mistaken, you did get best dressed for your
Langston
class.
Langston was a whole movement back in Pearl. Y'all better Google that, man.
how they was kicking ass in and zip up ankle boots and a 3-piece suit. That was Langston.
Right. He had the zoot suits. Then he go out there, throw the cleats on, and give you that work. Now, yeah, she is being a good Goon Squad member, and I love it. Keep it coming, Martrice. What did he say to you, though, Langston? He said, "I know we believe you.
We just want to know what was said.
We just want to know what was said. Put it. Hey, code it up and put it in the chat. I won't even post it. Just let us know what he said. They called you because you normally are cool, calm, and collected. Patrick Beverly, by my numbers here, you average 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Go play over in China somewhere. You need to be go play in Taiwan with the Dwight Howard. Right. Your services are no longer needed in the NBA. If you're going to be getting my team bad press by hitting a fan upside the head, now they might even sue the team as well because you know how that works. You can do RICO for anything nowadays. So now I'm gonna have to pay a settlement out to a season ticket holder because you couldn't keep your cool and you giving me 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Nah, you got
keep
to
talking.
Roll.
I got to let Big Boy out, but keep talking.
You got to roll Patrick Beverly. All right. Now, while she takes the dog out, while she's being Doctress Doolittle over there, we're going to start previewing some of these NBA playoff games that are coming up this week. And Langston, Martrice says, Langston, I'm vaguely recalling that situation. Now, what did he say? Right. What did he say? What did he say? And then what? I think that was Friday. What did he say? He said he's going to kill us, man. I digress. All right. Now, Tasha, we got a couple of games. What you got? You got something there?
That was I'm trying to get him on the show. My boy Corey, his son, who play. What is the team in Dallas? Like the UFL?
I can't remember. All I remember is the Cats.
Well,
National Cats.
Well, his son plays for that team, and I want to get him on the show kind of later on. He used to play in the NFL, but things happen, and he still got a love for the game of football. But that was him.
Not mad at that at all. Welcome. Come on down. Now, we got a couple of nice game threes on tap today. A game 3 doubleheader on this beautiful Saturday. Both games airing on ABC. Don't even need your cable or your app. You can throw your rabbit ears on and enjoy some good old basketball. Y'all, downtown Dallas, about 20 minutes south of where I am right now, will be rocking this afternoon when the OKC Thunder take the short trip down to downtown Dallas. Dallas, even the series at 1 game apiece on Thursday night, but Luka is hobbled with a sprained right knee and sore left ankle. Tasha, how do you see this series unfolding?
First of all, who was playing that porn in that press conference?
Who was playing the porn in the press conference? Like,
who hit play? Or who went live at the press conference and Luka was like,
Luka was looking around like, I know you now. Jarrell says Mavs in 6. Are you going to the game, Jarrell, today or Monday? Interested to know if you're going to be down there. We're right, Tosh. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I'm surprised that the Mavs. I'm not surprised, but I am because I really not saying that I thought it was going to be. He said, not just Sebagos.
No, those were pretty pricey bougie shoes back in the.
I had the Eastlands. I didn't have the Sebagos. I had the Eastlands. If y'all don't know, these were Sperry's before Sperry's was out. We had Sebagos and you had your Eastlands.
Yes, that's fine. Those were the suburban Jordans. So yeah, I can see him slapping somebody for stepping on his shoes. Tasha, go ahead, Tasha.
I'm surprised.
Y'all out of control in the comments today.
I'm surprised that Denver, they missed us. I'm surprised that that Dallas is in this position. Not saying that I thought Denver was going to be a cakewalk over. That it was going to be a cakewalk over Dallas. I'm just surprised at the way Denver is playing or not playing. They did win last night. I fell asleep on the game. But
it was a snooze fest.
I still see Denver as pulling this one out.
Now, okay, we're going to get to Denver in just a second. This is OKC in Dallas.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm all confused. What's it?
Right. It's okay. The OKC Thunder and Dallas is playing.
I'm sorry. I'm throwed off. What was I saying? No. OKC, I think, is still kind of young.
Yeah. That's what I worry about with them.
That's what I'm worried about with them is the age. And, people say, oh, that doesn't matter. But I think it does when you get to a certain point in a season or when it comes to playoffs, when you don't have that experience, sometimes they can't handle that pressure, even though they've been playing this game since they were children.
Right.
The pressure is different. Just like, you know, how you have people to go to the Super Bowl. You know, I just watched The Shop with Trent Williams, and he was talking about like how this time when he got to the Super Bowl, it was kind of like, because he's been there before. Because so like if you've never been there, or to, you know, advance this far, things can be a little bit different and difficult for you. Dallas has been in this. Kyrie has won a championship. Luka got ice water in his veins, and as Mike said, got last name ending itch. They can't. You don't know the circumstances.
Right.
But with him being injured, I don't know how much he's going to play or how well he's going to play.
I'm worried about Luka long term, but I want to scroll up and agree with Jarrell on this. I think the Mavs, after they tied up that series, I was like, oh, it's over. I thought the only chance that OKC had of winning this series was to go up 2-0 and maybe steal one in Dallas over the weekend and maybe win the war of attrition. But the longer you keep this series going, the more it favors the Mavs. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mavs don't lose another game in this series because of what you said with the age and the experience. Luka has been on this stage before. Kyrie is a playoff phenomenon. Even Jason Kidd got a title, you know, and so
and he got extended for how well this team is played. He's got a contract extension. Let me hold some Jay Kidd.
They didn't want him to go to LA. Like, you better give him his money. Like, the Mavs got something cooking.
Cuban said, let me go on and handle this real quick. Like, here you go. Really, Chris, sign it for me.
Now, I believe his name is Nico, or help me out here, Jarrell, if I'm saying his name wrong. It's either Nico or Rico Collins. That's like the Nico. No, not the football player, but the president of basketball operations that came from Nike that's running the Mavs now. Like, I think his name is Rico Collins or Nico Collins. Forgive me if I'm saying wrong.
He got charges, or is he a brother?
He's a brother, but he has been cooking. First of all, he bounced back. He bounced back from Jalen Brunson leaving and locked up Kyrie when Kyrie was known to bounce around. He was ready to be a pass around all-star too. It's Nico. Thank you, Jarrell. He's been cooking.
We got two Nico Collinses in the state of Texas.
What? And his last name may not be Collins either, but you know, I'm a Grizzlies fan.
We need to play that in the numbers.
Stop it. But when he picked up PJ Washington and Gafford at the trade deadline, giving them some size and some physicality. Gafford is a true rim protector. Dallas hadn't had a rim protector since Tyson Chandler. And oh, by the way, they won a title with Tyson Chandler.
They won it.
PJ Washington dropped damn near 30 the other night. If they get a consistent third score, ain't nobody beating Dallas. Not Boston, not Denver, not nobody.
Going back to PJ Washington, isn't it amazing how when players are in different situations, they react? Because when he was in Charlotte, we knew his name. Of course, he had some off the field drama with, you know, with his baby moms and whatnot.
Right.
He was always a decent player. Or maybe it's because when he was in Charlotte, we weren't really seeing what was going on with him.
Right.
But
you can't even get on TNT on Charlotte.
This brother is flourishing in Dallas.
If he can just give them anything and let Luka just kind of hobble his way through this series and get to the next one, because you get more breaks between games as the playoffs progress. If they get to the Western Conference Finals with Luka intact, I got them winning the whole damn thing. Luka and Kyrie are it's just one of the most enjoyable backcourts to watch. To watch them both go back and forth, dominating. It almost reminds me of Terry Porter and Clyde Drexler back in them Portland days, where one would just take over and then the other one would just take over. So it'd be interesting to see. OKC, I think y'all in trouble. You should have went up 2-0. You let Dallas get one on the road. They got home court now. It's a wrap. Boston.
Who?
Talk me off the ledge with Boston. They're 1-1 as well. They played tonight in prime time against the Cavaliers on ABC. They let the Cavaliers come in there and put a knot on their head when they were a double-digit home favorite and they lost by like 25 points. Should you be concerned if you're a Celtics fan, Tasha?
Hell yeah, because who else played for the Cavs other than Donovan Mitchell? Y'all, I'm sorry. I have not watched, even in these here playoffs, I have not watched one Cavs game. They
were buried on True TV in the first round series against Orlando, and only because they're playing Boston.
As Bomani Jones would say, when you watching the broadcast on TNT in that top quarter, in the top corner, that's where you see the score of that game.
That's that score. That's that score. Okay, wait a minute. Jarrell, check in here because I know he's been watching the playoffs with his mouths cooking. He says Celtics are softer than wet toilet paper. Wet toilet paper is the devil's grease that he used to fry chicken in your ass. That is a very poignant point, but he walked me right into my lead in on this, Tasha.
Softer than dime store cotton.
You and Mike had backed me into a corner talking about when we were splitting hairs with the GOAT debate, and you were saying that LeBron is just too nice. I know Mike has said it. You said it about the killer instinct, and if you're in a dark alley, who would you rather have? Of course, we'd rather have Kobe than LeBron. I was sensitive to that because you was talking about the king. But after what Jarrell said, when I was watching that game the other night, I was like, y'all look soft. It was like a lack of killer instinct, a lack of a competitive spirit. I don't want to say light skin syndrome because that'll start a war on here. But Jason Tatum, you're too damn nice. Like, put your son away. Put your son up in the suite and get down there and be a killer because Donovan Mitchell is a killer.
You let that baby be out there with his dad because in this climate now with all these single parents and all this and that, I like to see these fathers out here with their sons. So if he wants to put the little boy in a whole Celtics outfit with some black Converse,
you said dress him up like the leprechaun.
Yeah, let that man.
Yeah, you're right,
baby.
Look, I didn't say I wasn't a hypocrite because I love when Ja has his daughter out there. Wait a minute, because he's right. Langston said, Tatum said we called them a super team. Don't shy away from the smoke, man. Ja was saying we climbed up the chimney 2 years ago when they was ready to face the Lakers. And they got the ass whooped, which goes back to your point about veteran leadership and playoff experience over youth. The Lakers did that to Memphis last year.
But the thing is Kristaps, the unicorn, is he still injured?
He's still injured, of course.
See, that's the thing. If you have key pieces of your team that are not available, it affects your overall performance as a team.
It does. But the East is weaker than SWV in the 90s. Like, they can hardly speak. They lose all control when something takes over me. They in the days.
This mosquito and fly spray, and I'm getting ready to spray you with it.
But no, Langston is right, man. Is he shying away from the spotlight? You're making excuses. Well, we can't win every game. There's no.
I mean, you can't make excuses because you've been here before. You got Drew Holiday who won the championship. You got Jalen Brown who was an all-star. You got like I said, Kristaps, even though he's hurt. The whole season when Kristaps wasn't injured, Boston was just going up and up and up. You have all the pieces there. So you cannot keep making excuses because you made it there without some of these players before.
Right. And the thing is, like, to your point, you are absolutely correct. Not having Kristaps Porzingis there does affect their offense. But to your point, Jalen Brown, you got Jason Tatum is a veteran. You've got pieces. You got Drew Holiday at point guard. He's got a championship. Like, I don't want to hear it, Boston.
And he
you just need to play better in front of that baby.
Part of winning that championship. He didn't just get that championship just because he was on the bench. You know, he was an integral part of the championship team.
But you brought his name up a second ago. Donovan Mitchell got that dog in him. He was dropping 50 on Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. He was dropping 50 on their head. He's going to do it again tonight.
Again, more truth serum. I didn't even know, as my little brother used to call them when they first came out, the Magics. I didn't even know they was in the playoffs.
Oh, wow. Look, with all those Michigan players on the Orlando Magic, that's foul. They got like 5 Michigan players.
I know.
Okay.
What's his name? The white guy in Michigan with the foreign guy. What's his? Oh, God.
The Wagner brothers.
Yeah, the Wagners.
Ron and Mo are both on the team.
I was watching SportsCenter the other day, and they said Mo Wagner, and I said I was in the kitchen. My TV is behind me, so I'm in the kitchen, and I heard them say Mo Wagner. I was like, Michigan Mo. Like, is he back on campus? Is he the new coach?
Michigan Mo, who knocked off Lady Eloise or the lady from Loyola, Chicago. What was her name? Sister Jean. Knocked her ass out the Final Four. They rolled her right on up the ramp. Told her to keep it pushing. That
We not
mode.
no Gene slander. That and you being Catholic too? How you gonna do that?
That's right. That's right. I'm sorry I had a Catholic upbringing. I am so sorry about that. Is Boston in trouble? Do you think they'll get out of this? I think Spider-Man Mitchell might make this a series.
I mean, I think they'll get out of it. I think this is a fluke. They're gonna make some major adjustments.
They're gonna have Cleveland tonight, huh?
Hey, I mean, I just don't think Cleveland has enough to, overtake Boston, because I think Boston is the better team.
Boston plays with their food. Boston don't have that killer instinct like some teams will just stomp you out.
For the last 3 or 4 years, they have been on, right there on the edge. Right. You had Coach Freak Nasty, who's down there in Houston. Right. And now you got Joe Mazzulla, like how people say, he just got handed this team. Is he really coaching? But he has shown us that he can actually coach. But this is the time when it's going to show if you are a real coach, if you can bring your team together and have them win and advance and not just keep getting knocked out in this round or making it to the Eastern Conference Finals and not making it to the finals.
Right. I want to see Jason Tatum play with the same fervor and tenacity as Spider-Man Mitchell. Now, Jarrell says if the Spurs want to win, they better go get Mitchell to pair with Wemby. I think Mitchell will nix that. I think if he went anywhere, it would probably be New York. I thought Damian Lillard should have went to San Antonio before he went to Milwaukee. He don't need championship aspirations because he's just not a championship player.
San Antonio is not the same place as it has been, even though you got Wemby, who won Rookie of the Year or whatnot.
Right.
It's not a desirable destination, almost kind of like Portland. Like it's going to be
in San Antonio. It really, like you got to get drafted there.
Just pray they don't ever drain that river.
We're going to digress on that. We got a couple of games. That was a bar, by the way. We got a couple of game 4s on tap tomorrow, Tasha. This one has been wildly entertaining. The Knicks and the Pacers, taking us back to our heyday in the 90s when we see the Davis boys going up against Sprewell, Allen Houston, and John Starks and the boys. So many great memories watching them get down in the Garden. Indiana saved their season last night. They were down 2-0. They get one at home. They got game 4 on Sunday. Tasha, do they make this thing a legitimate series, or does the Knicks put them in a chokehold?
Same thing as I said with Boston. You got injuries.
Yeah.
You would, Langston.
Hey, that Riverwalk is dope, though. My dad wants to go visit that.
Man in the mouth for stepping on your Sebagos.
Right.
I just wish we had a photo of Donyon. Y'all, Donyon was he was a He-Man figure. And if Langston doesn't bold up to this man, that's all I
right. That wasn't a bully ball tactic. No, he fought in his weight class.
Right. So Langston, I can understand why you like the river down, that San Antonio River down there. Did you contribute to what's at the bottom of that river?
Morning, Stephanie. Skaters jumped me walking Hazel. I made it. Good morning and safe travels to you with them bugs.
Here, Steph, here you go. I'm gonna send this to you right here. Some spray.
She said we're on here looking. Oh, thank you, Steph. Thank you. We appreciate you. Natasha, don't look. I need your answer. What's going on with Indiana and the Knicks?
Again, the Knicks have a lot of injuries.
They do.
A lot of injuries.
They do.
And at this point in the season, it's not going to get easier.
No.
So I can see Indiana actually making this a series. This was the Knicks' year, man. And, side note, of course, I'm a Pistons fan. I'm going to be a diehard Detroit basketball fan. But I always rooted for the Knicks because I like Patrick Ewing. As we said before,
I did too. From the
Georgetown is our HBCU. Because all you saw was a plethora of brothers on that Georgetown Hoya Hoop squad. So I was a Patrick Ewing fan. So I became a Knicks fan because of Patrick Ewing. So, man, everything in me be wanting to root for the Knicks, but they let me. That's almost like being a Cowboy fan.
How do Cowboys catch a stray on a basketball episode? I'm just curious.
Oh, shouts out to what's the restaurant you took me to? The soul food restaurant?
Sweet Georgia Browns.
And where's that area?
In South Dallas.
Okay, I met some brothers yesterday from South Dallas. You know, when I see young guys, I say, hey, how you doing, guys? Well, where you guys from? And the guy was like, oh, we from Dallas. So we went back and forth, and they just so happened to be Cal bitch fans. And so, they went back and forth. These were some young fellas, so we chopped it up a little bit talking about sports. But the guy was from where Sweet Georgia Browns is, and they knew exactly what I was talking about when I said, I go to Dallas, a year, every year. I said, and my boy, I said, he took me to this restaurant. He was like, oh, Sweet Georgia Browns. He's like, yeah, that's where I'm from.
Yeah,
well, shout out to those brothers. I can't remember their names, but shout out to those brothers.
Hey, they showed you love in there too. They treated you real good and hooked your plate up in there. Look, y'all, they was giving me problems.
And we will be going back.
Here and there.
We will be going back. We definitely
will be going back. Tasha, I'm worried about the Knicks from this standpoint. And to your point, you're right. It was their year. No Julius Randle. OG Anunoby is out with a hamstring injury. Mitchell Robinson got cheap shotted by Joel Embiid, and the basketball gods and karma knocked their ass out the playoffs for that. You grabbed that man's knee.
Right. Then now all of a sudden, now when did you develop Bell's palsy? That ain't it.
Don't you, Tasha, don't you. We're going to keep this on.
I mean, I just thought his eye was lazy. I didn't know because we all saw that right there. I said, when his eye get lazy?
Like Biggie said, lazy eye. I was high when they hit me. It took a few cats with me. I need the company. All right, I digress. Indiana Pacers can score the ball with anybody in the NBA. Halliburton, Miles Turner. You got Neesmith. You got T.J. McConnell coming off the bench. You got scorers. You got shooters all over the place. Pascal Siakam is handling his business. Knicks, y'all better get this one on Sunday and go up 3-1. You don't want to go best 2 out of 3. And Jalen Brunson, man, his gas tank getting empty. He's been carrying that team for the last 2 months straight. Then he's playing heavy minutes. Thibodeau like to rub the toes off the bottom of your shoes.
Thinner and thinner as the series goes along. That y'all stressing that lane out.
Brunson has been all world. He's been phenomenal in the playoffs. But how much longer can you do that? You think about it, you still have the Eastern Conference Finals and the finals. Whoever come out the West is going to be a problem. Hey, Detroit, Michigan checking in. Good morning, cousin Ronald Shelton. Hey, we getting some East Coast love this morning.
East Coast, where you at? Can we get it out?
So you got the Knicks? I still got the Knicks pulling this one out because I don't trust anybody but Jalen Brunson in the fourth quarter.
I got the Knicks pulling this out, but it's going to be a long road to toe.
Now, Draymond Green with his don't you believe it looking self, he was on his podcast the other day and he said the Knicks are a fluke. Is that fair or foul? Okay. Next question. Now, and then on Sunday night, before you get us banned off Facebook with your next comment. So Sunday night, we have game 4 between Denver and Minnesota. Minnesota won the first 2 on the road in dramatic blowout fashion. Denver went to Minnesota last night and blew their ass out on their home court. Is the home team going to win a game? What do you see with this series? Did Denver save their season last night?
Yeah, they did. They most definitely did because had they not won, had they not won, it would have been over. I just could see Prince sitting up there like this. Did y'all remember that time when Prince walked in the game and he shut that shit down? Prince walked in he cut the court. They stopped the game when Prince came in and sat down. And he sat down like he was there early.
Did he have on his raspberry beret is the question.
No, he wasn't wearing no raspberry. Not the kind you find in the secondhand store. He was
nice.
off of Old Man Johnson's farm. No.
Right. It was Old Man Johnson's farm. Speaking of farm, Joker, he avoided going back home to farm and tend to his horses with that game 3 performance, and Jamal Murray as well, who should have been suspended for that game. Let's just keep that real. Hell, you threw a heating pad on the court and somebody almost stepped on it, but you only get fined. I get it, NBA. You don't want to see the champions go out like that. You don't agree?
No, I agree with the fine, but again, y'all cannot keep making these heat of the moment decisions What if, like they said, whoever that was could have stepped on that towel?
Carl Anthony Towns.
Oh, okay.
No, see now, Langston, I'm gonna get to this. I'm gonna answer this for you right here in 2 words. He says, "Are the NBA playoffs interesting? Just seems like it has lost its excitement to me." That's because King James ain't in it. That's just why that is.
No.
You need the king. You want the king. You need the king. That's what it is. Right.
You all right.
Heavy on the Z's. Prince.
But for me, Langston, what makes it not interesting to me is, first of all, that play-in tournament, because that adds on to the season. But again, I love the play-in tournament, but keep going. And they were saying the NBA is all about the money. They want these seasons, they want these series to be extended, because who loses money when there's no people in the seats? The owners. They got to fill these arenas up. So they want this season it's all about money. With every league, it's all about the money. But the play-in and the first rounds are usually not that good. This is when the games are really starting to get good. Like, again, I didn't even know Cleveland and Orlando. I knew Cleveland. Let me quit lying. I didn't know neither one of them was in the playoffs. I'm just going to put it there.
They ain't LeBron. Who cares about Cleveland if LeBron ain't there?
Craig Elo, Jordan hit that shot.
How'd he do? Oh.
Craig Elo was like, really?
Was like, oh. He never got up off that floor. He's still laying there right now.
Still laying there. Still Craig Elo. But
let me offer a rebuttal to Langston, though, real quick. Let me offer a rebuttal. The NBA playoffs
it's starting to get interesting now. First rounds, unless you just get some of those doozy matches where you're like, oh my God, this happened. You didn't really have any upsets or anything like that in the first round. Everything went as scripted. So this is when it's starting to get good. Again, I tried to watch the game, but I'm on Eastern time, and
it's hard to do that on the West Coast.
I was too tired. I couldn't. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I'm glad you don't have any like extreme Pacific time teams that are
get those LA teams up out of here.
Right, because the games are already late, so this is better for me.
Right.
To watch.
Okay. Right. I think that one, it's so many teams that make the playoffs now, and including the play-in. There's only like 8 teams that don't even make it to the tournament. I think that's one thing. 2, one of the things that's so great about college football is the exclusivity. We'll see how that works when they expand to 12 teams. But the fact that only 4 made it, every game was an elimination game as the season came drawn to an end. But it has been some incredible basketball that's being played. It's just hard to watch, and it's a lot to consume at one time. It's like the NCAA tournament. Hell, it's 3-4 games on a night. It's kind of hard to really lock in on one. And let's face it, LeBron wasn't in it. So, Tasha, a week ago, I think it was, he says, I'm watching BMF and The Shy. Now, I just got me started.
Somebody got a Showtime link they like to DM me, because I'm 3 seasons behind on The Shy.
BMF season 1 was excellent. I can't wait to catch up on the rest of it. Now, Tasha, catch me up with this Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. Like, is it over? Who won? Who won in your opinion?
First of all, Drake won. No, Kendrick won. Let's just start there.
Oh, I was ready to be surprised. Like, whoa, really?
Oh, no. Kendrick most definitely won. And like, I know where we're going to go with this with my top 5 list, but I'm going to say this.
Go ahead, say it.
Drake drops them bops. I listen to Drake when he come on. I'm doing the Michelle Obama meme. I'm dancing. I'm doing.
Oh, wait a minute. How Michelle do it?
But when Kendrick is on, I'm like this. Drake, and I told you this too. Drake made his diss songs for the public.
Yeah.
Kendrick was talking directly to him. That stings more. That stings more. We didn't have to understand any of it, because when Drake told him he's staying with his back up against the curb, that was really funny. And I thought again, I was watching one of the multiple podcasts, and somebody else said that, and I laughed so hard as if I had never heard it before. But when Kendrick went in on that man and told that man's son, little sweet, innocent little baby that's innocent, told him he was sorry he was your dad.
Kendrick went Tupac with it, though.
No.
Like, you went so far below the belt.
Kendrick did what he was supposed to do. He
understood the assignment.
He went right at Drake. I don't care how he got the information. Drake want to say, "Oh, we had a mole that leaked." First of all, you lying. You did that. You lying.
I believe that though, Tosh. I believe he did set up K-Dot.
I don't think he lying. He just trying to save face because he got his ass handed to him.
Well, where's the daughter? Where is she?
But like I said, when you have what was that song? And my brother told me this a long time ago. Y'all remember the song "Front" with Pharrell, and Jay-Z was like, every time your name was brought up, I would act out nonchalant in front of an audience like you was just another shorty. I put the naughty on, but truth be told, you threw me for a loop. It's Hove. He's rapping directly to Beyonce. That may not have been for us if we didn't understand. He was saying that to Queen B. When you are coming directly at someone, that shit hits different. And that's what Kendrick did.
So wait a minute. So if Kendrick is a rapper's rapper, then what's Drake?
Like they say, and remember I sent you the clip that Obama said. He is an entertainer. And I have these discussions that just all for whatever reason correlate to what we're discussing. My little nephew here, Tyler, when we were out yesterday running errands, and Monica came on, and I said, Monica is so underrated because she has that voice. I said, if I'm going to listen to some music, I want to listen to someone like Monica because Monica is a singer. She's not an entertainer per se. Entertainment brings you your money. You have to be an entertainer and this, that, and the other thing. Like Rihanna can't sing to save her soul. But when a Rihanna song come on, what's the first thing I do? She got hits. I'm dancing, but I'm not going to billionaire. Right. I'm not going to listen to Rihanna. I'm going to listen to Monica.
Look, just from the snippets that I heard of all of the diss tracks, because I didn't listen to them all entirely in order. But I think if you're going from an understand the assignment standpoint, Kendrick Lamar was definitely the harder disser. He was the harder disser because he was going directly at him, and Drake would seem like he was making just like general songs that was making fun of him.
Right. So Drake is making
here's my thing though.
Go ahead.
Kendrick Lamar is boring. He's boring.
Mm-mm.
He's boring. If we on a road trip from here to Houston and we got 4 hours and we can only play one artist, if you put in Kendrick Lamar, I'm going to put your ass out. You're going to be looking like Rasheed Rice walking up the interstate.
How do I lock?
Don't spray me. I'm looking like a roach on my back.
No, you gonna look like
come on in the comment. Y'all know
ass on that interstate on your back.
Rakim versus Will Smith. That's not fair.
There you go, Langston.
Not fair. Drake is a much better rapper than Will Smith.
But no, he's not saying as far as rap.
No, I get what he's saying. Like as far as that's the truth.
You have to be in a certain space and have a certain amount of gray matter to really vibe with Drake to understand what he's saying. And this is not on my list, surprisingly. You go back to Biggie and Tupac. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say Biggie didn't drop no bars because Biggie always came through in the clutch. But if you listen to what Pac said, Pac was telling a vivid story.
No, Pac was saying, I slept with your wife, is what he was saying. They don't get no more vivid than that.
I'm not talking about on his diss tracks. I'm talking about right.
Biggie was a better lyricist than Pac.
Right. I mean, I'm talking about he was like picture perfect. I paint a perfect picture, bone and hooches with precision. My intention to get rich and with the S and double OP. Dog, my fucking homie, man, come on, Pac.
I want to come in and say, shown up. I got my hand on the gun because they got me on the run. Now I'm back in the courtroom waiting on the outcome. Okay. But wait a minute. This is what irks me about Kendrick Lamar fans on social media. Okay, and I love Unc. He know I love Unc dearly, but don't dismiss people who don't like Kendrick Lamar as not being people who like lyrics. I love lyrics. I love lyricists, but Kendrick Lamar just ain't it for me. If you play him more than one song at a time, I'm throwing you out my car.
I have more Kendrick Lamar songs in my iTunes than I do Drake. The only reason why Drake has more is because Drake has rapped with everyone.
Right, he made all of their careers. This is a better one right here.
Shane got to catch some strays
because KRS-One put him out of the rap game. But this is a better comparison to me, KRS-One versus MC Shan, because MC Shan was kind of like, just wave your hands in the air. And he was like a party guy, like a hype guy at the party to do the chants and get everybody dancing on the floor, where KRS-One was a lyrical assassin that was bringing him down lyrically. So
right, like how you do the KRS-One.
That's a better example than Will Smith.
Like you do the KRS-One and the Nelly too. Nelly had them bops, but if you're going to sit down and listen to some rap, some hardcore hip hop, you're gonna be listening to KRS-One. Even though
who wakes up in the morning wanting to free the slaves? Who wake up in the morning wanting to get that diabolical? When is the last time you rode to work listening to KRS-One?
All I'm saying is, if it wasn't for Harriet Tubman freeing them slaves on the way to glory, a lot of us wouldn't be here. Thank you, Kendrick.
Hold on, I gotta give you that on that one.
Thank you, Kendrick.
But I just thank God that it stopped when it did, because I don't want to see none of them get killed. We don't want to do Pac and Biggie all over again. No, wait a minute. Martrice checking in. She says, right, Drake is the collab king per Miles. He does it to save his relevance. I disagree with you, Miles, and I love you, Godson. He made those people hits. Drake has been on top for 10 years.
But it was funny how all of them came out against Drake when Rick Ross, I listened to Aston Martin music. Woulda came back for you. That's Drake
putting him on the map, right?
Future. What's the song? I can't even think of it. And I just played it the other day. I was in here like, Future. Future didn't really need nobody to help him get on there. Future toxic as hell, y'all, but I love Future. But
look, I was listening to Feds watching all day yesterday.
Oh, that's my song. You know that's my song.
Mental stimulation is cool, but damn, I want to be entertained. You're not going to sit there and give me a civics lesson on the plight of Black America.
You just proved our point. Drake is an entertainer. He's not.
But I want to be entertained. I want to be entertained. I don't want nobody riling me up, telling me how bad we had it the last 400 years on my way to work. I want to hear some 0 to 100. I want to hear some God's Plan. I want to hear some real entertaining music. And for Kendrick Lamar to take a shot at Drake after Drake put him on his world tour as an opening act, I'm just saying, I think a lot of the Drake hate is unfortunate, because the man was on top for 10 years, totally as number one in the world as a rapper. And Kendrick Lamar been asleep for 5 years.
Kendrick
Lamar ain't had a hit since LeBron was in Cleveland.
Did you just call that man a cicada?
Well, come on, y'all. Kendrick, where has Kendrick been the last 5 years? Now all of a sudden he's supposed to be the king of rap. I don't buy it. Give me Drake all day.
No one is taking anything away from Drake other than Metro Boomin, who had a Japanese man rapping over that BBL.
Didn't you tell him shut your whole ass up and make some drums?
He told him
that was funny.
Tap tap do the tap tap do the tap tap.
Oh, whoa. He says the bottom line is Kendrick is free and Drake is industry driven. What does free mean? Free what? His music should be free? World be free? Free AJ and free?
First of all, why did you say world be free? Let's wrap this up, because
let's wrap this up. Give me the top 5 diss songs of all time, Tasha.
And y'all, and this one really hurts me. As much as y'all know, I love NWA, which is the reason why I am a misogynist to this day.
Yes.
Cube got them on No Vaseline.
That was the most vicious diss record of all time, right there, and the most effective.
The most effective, because I mean at that time it was kind of like towards the end of NWA's reign.
No, he ended NWA. He ended them. They didn't make another record after that.
The next one I have on my list, y'all, I did my homework. You got Luda versus T.I. Now, Young Buck was petty because how you gonna put both of them on the same song?
He said, "So please stay off the TIP of my."
He said, "Nobody's talking about you." That's the first thing he said. Nobody's talking about you. Your beef ain't legit. So stay off of the TIP. You done spelled that man's name out on a song.
But Buck, you was fouled for that because T got walked into that one. He didn't know that Luda was going to come on there and eviscerate him.
You had Buck, T.I., then you had Luda come in, and the last thing he said was stay off of the TIP of my show. That was
brilliant. No, that was brilliant. Drake has an agenda set before him. Like, I don't care about all that stuff. Just entertain me. Just get up there and shuck a job for your boy.
Next one, you got now LL done beef with everybody. He had to.
That's why I'm rocking him today, because he was the undefeated beef king of the GOAT of the 90s.
You had the beef with Kool Moe Dee, and you had the beef with Cannabis, and those were two different genres and eras of rappers.
He ended both of them,
and he ended both of them. Now, wait a minute. Next, and this is kind of funny, seeing how this person never ever wrote his raps. It was always Cube and MC Ren.
Langston is being petty this morning. Keep going, Tasha.
Hey, Cube and MC Ren always wrote this man's rap.
That's true.
But when Eazy-E said, "Tell me where the F you found an anorexic rapper," talking about who you gonna squabble with and who you shooting, you're only 60 pounds when you wet wearing boots.
R.I.P. Easy.
R.I.P. Easy.
Easy got down on Real Compton City G's.
It's real MF and G's if y'all want to Google that. That beat knocked.
Compton City on the show. Keep going. But yeah, that was vicious by Shaq. Go ahead.
And then, of course, my favorite of all time is going to be Nas and Jay-Z. Again, Jay-Z was rapping for us. Yes. Nas was rapping at him.
Yes. And he took his time and let that roast simmer in the pot for a whole day. It was nice and tender when he dropped it.
Jay-Z tried to come back with another track, but by that time, it was over.
No. Right.
I'm glad
Standard 8 count.
I'm glad they squashed it. You know, they still, be the Dope Boys of the Year. Drinks is on the house. If y'all know, he did the soundtrack and had Nas in the video. Right, and honorable mention, the Hatfields and the McCoys.
I want to give an honorable mention to DJ Quick when he told MC8, EIHT. Now, should I continue? Yes, I left out the G. Finish that for me, Tasha. Why he leave out the G, Tasha?
Who? Wait a minute. All we know is that one album that DJ Quick had, what was it, 91, 92, that was bumping.
Everybody want to know something about a brother named Quick.
Who beefs with a man wearing a perm?
He told him, EIHT. Now, should I continue? Yes, we left out the G because the G ain't in you. How do you killed a whole rap beef with one line? MCA, we ain't seen him no more after that, and he cut his
chrome off. There was no more, like you said, he took that G out because it wasn't no more what? Giggity gangsta.
Tasha, who you shouting out this week? That was good. Great list.
I have, of course, Mother's Day. We're going to shout out, our mothers, my mom, me, Mel, if she's still in there. I know Mel is always busy. She's usually kind of just listening to us. All the mothers, but I do want to give a shout out to one of our fallen Firebirds, Bonnie Gentry.
Yes.
Who we don't, I know Stiana was asking about funeral arrangements or anything like that. We don't know. Not really sure what happened, but we're just going to keep her family in our prayers.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
I mean, she was a mother. Mother's Day is coming up, so that's going to be hard on her children. I don't know if Bonnie
I didn't even think about that part. You're right.
Or anything. And then I need to shout out my daughter who did not send me the information, but y'all know she tore up she didn't really tear. She had a really significant strain of her ACL. So Mini-Me has been out running. She ran 2 miles yesterday, and today,
oh nice.
It was a runner who ran the Music City Marathon who lost his life at like almost at the end of the race with like 3 miles or something left to go. And they finished the race today. So I don't know. I was asking her, but she was mad. Like she tried to call me out because I didn't answer the phone this morning. I don't know how she did. She still didn't text me back. So I don't know how she did, but I assume she finished and she didn't pass out because she texted me.
Well, she's telling you right now, she shaved 3 minutes off her 5K time. All right. All right. Shouts out Denise. Now, that's how you come back, KD. You see that? That's how you come back from a leg injury and mop the flow with these folks. That's how you do it.
I got one more shout out. And I know if you guys ain't paid attention, look at your boy's background. Y'all see it's different? Y'all, our boy done moved up to the east side, y'all. Our boy got him a brand new spot. I can't wait to get in there in my bar car lounger and roll out of it and act
right.
the fool.
I got it saved for you.
We got y'all. And let me tell y'all how much money this brother got. He got all new furniture.
No, Tasha, you're making me blush, Tasha. We're gonna move on in a hurry. What we're doing?
I can't wait to get there. I can't wait.
Hold on. You're right. Fair East Side. No. I'm gonna take the laughs off for a minute. Langston wants to wish a happy Heavenly Mother's Day to his mother. He's really trying, Mama, to be what you proclaimed him to be. I know she's proud of you, man.
Yeah.
Looking down on you, I know she's proud. And first of all, to the people who are going through Mother's Day weekend without their mother, I give you a cyber hug. I'm thinking about you. I'm praying for you. Let's get through this together. I want to give my co-host right here, my ace, my sister from another mister, my 30 plus years strong and going, a happy Mother's Day. Her daughter is on the chat. Happy Mother's Day to you too. Happy Mother's Day to my mom, AP Coulter, to Martrice Hastings, to Stiana, to my sister Stephanie, to all of the wonderful, wonderful mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day to you all. And yeah, we'll end on a good note there. She's sending hugs, and y'all, we'll see y'all back in 6 days and 23 hours. I got a little rusty, right? You was like, what's going on? Yeah, we'll see y'all next week.
Well, I'll say this on the next show because I need to talk to Paul about it. But anyway, happy Mother's Day weekend, everyone. Hey. That's why his Wi-Fi is glitching, y'all, because it's new and the setup ain't quite right yet.